will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Levi.
Here.
Rozak.
Here.
Crouch.
Here.
Scarberry.
Here.
Mayor Lansford.
Okay, I have a proclamation for Dysautonomia Awareness Month. Whereas dysautonomia is a group of medical conditions that result in a malfunction of the autonomic nervous system, which is responsible for automatic bodily functions such as respiration, heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, temperature control, and more. Whereas some forms of dysautonomia are considered rare diseases such as multiple system atrophy and pure autonomic failure, while other forms of dysautonomia are common, impacting millions of people in the U.S. and around the world, such as diabetic autonomic neuropathy, neurocardiogenic syndrome, and postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Whereas dysautonomia impacts people of any age, gender, race, or background, including individuals living in Streator, Illinois. Whereas some forms of dysautonomia can be very disabling, and this disability can result in social isolation, stress on the families of those impacted, and financial hardship. Whereas some forms of dysautonomia can result in death, causing tremendous pain and suffering for those impacted and their loved ones. Whereas increased awareness about dysautonomia will help patients get diagnosed and treated earlier, save lives, and foster support for individuals and families living with dysautonomia in our community. Whereas Dysautonomia International, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that advocates on behalf of patients living with dysautonomia, encourages communities to celebrate Dysautonomia Awareness Month each October around the world. Whereas we seek to recognize the contributions of the professional medical community, patients, and family members who are working to educate our citizenry about dysautonomia in Streator, Illinois. Therefore, Tara Beat, representing Jimmy Lansford here at Streator, to hereby proclaim the month of October as Dysautonomia Awareness Month throughout the city of Streator. Okay, do we need to make any changes to the agenda? So, good to proceed. At this time, I'd like to open it up to public comment. We ask that you come to the front, state your name, and then you have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you, Chief.
Hi, I'm Greg Spradlin. I live over on Riverside. I've been Streator all my life, except for Quad City and Freeport for a little bit. We got a issue going around. They want to move the Wagner Burial Schultz group into the O'Keen service station lot. When the girl was killed up by the high school years ago, it was because of traffic. It was zigzagging all around, car careened to hit her. Mayor Schmidt at the time said that would be ideal exit lane for Broadway to dilute traffic even faster. Whatever became of that. And, with that group as it is now, if you're coming across Illinois Street crossings and you see the backside of Schultz-Wagner Burial Vault, there's no fencing there, there's weeds there, there's just stuff stacked everywhere. And the crematorium, the exterior of it, is rusted with panels falling off it. That was like that for years before, the fire got open. I understand they need to go, but the yellow pages come after all funeral directors guide people to them. They don't need a main location, and that's affecting people right in the neighborhood. You put their building up, something like what they have now, you're going to block the view of the park and the trail. We could still put that exit lane in there for Broadway. Someday we can get a one-floor museum tucked off into the southeast corner that doesn't block the view there. You can't get up and down the steps at the museum we have now. Schultz-Wagner Those people have done tons for this town, donated for everything. But you don't have to put it there. I suggested Spring Lake Road, tucked near that scrub timber, sitting right there. You have a house 1/8 of a mile down the road, that's it. Why can't they work a deal out with the cemetery where they're working half the time? That's my comment on that. I'd like to see the no passing zone extended from the curve connect. I live on 3rd Avenue corner. I almost get hit a lot. Everybody swings in there fast as they can to avoid oncoming traffic. I'd like to see that no passing extended to at least Columbus Road because of all the times and the gas station traffic. And the neighbors back here, we talked before I come in here, there's a sidewalk, tail ends there, people come down that sidewalk, they wind up walking through your parking lot for the police station. If they just put a new sidewalk in down to the old sidewalk, if the city could help them out, get that. There's no sidewalks on the east or the west side of the street. People walking, there's a lot of walkers going down to their jobs at Westgate. We can get that set up where they can walk down their sidewalk, across the Pleasant Avenue Park. That's my 3 topics. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, I wasn't planning on this. I thought I'd just come and listen, but you said public comment, so here I am. My name's Christine Stapleton. My husband Dan and I live at 110 East Bronson Street here in town. We moved here 2 years ago in August. We love it, and the town love it. But we do have a little problem with the speed limit in our alley. People just fly through there, and I don't know who keeps paving it, making it nice, but it's really very dangerous at times. And I know people, one of our neighbors has backed out and hit someone because, you can't see. I mean, we're looking really careful when we come out of there, so. I don't know if it would help to put the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit sign up a couple of ways. I don't know. I know our neighbors said years ago it used to be one way, and then they opened it up to both ways, so. Just, and we've talked to several cops in town, and they're like, yeah, we know they're going fast, and we said, hey, sit in our driveway, we don't care, write some tickets, but some people drive really slow, and wonder why they're driving so slow, because a lot of other people go so fast, so if something could be done about that, that would be just fantastic. And the other thing I want to talk about is, there is a shrub at the end, it goes, the part to Bloomington. It's at 1121 North Bloomington is the property, and there is a shrub, and this thing is like this tall and this big around, and I was here at the city in June and asked if it could be trimmed. Thought, trimming would help. Well, they trimmed it 3 weeks later, and when you're in a car, you cannot see. Even the cops we talked to said, oh, that's really dangerous there. You have to really get your nose out and look, if you're in a car. So I came, let's see, when was it? August 26th, I came and talked to the gal here and gave her my information, the address again, and I said it needs to be removed. It's very dangerous there, and I'm surprised nobody's gotten hit, but anyway, that's my 2 concerns, so.
Thank you. Since I'm not the usual mayor, make a little bit and see if I'm following up. Thank you. We'll move on to new business. Item 1. Dave, do you want to, I think Jeremy usually talks about these.
Well, item 1 is I believe, a purchase of vehicle and certification.
Clifford in the fire department, the chief is. Sure. So we're looking to purchase new rescue tools. We went out to bid. We got received 3 bids back. SunDrive fire equipment was the low bid, and CNT rescue tools would be very happy with those rescue tools, and they did come in under budget. So just asking you to approve the contract to go ahead and purchase those rescue tools with SunDrive fire equipment.
This time I'd like to request a motion and second to approve and authorize the award of bid to Sandy Fire Supply to purchase new vehicle extrication emergency equipment for the fire department from the Homeland Assistance Firefighters Grants in the city of Streator.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Brian, second by Ed. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Vidae.
Aye. Item 2.
Well, Jeremy Pong is not available to attend the meeting tonight, so he asked me to handle this. There's a facade grant proposal request for 125 and 127 South Park. It was reviewed by the Plan Commission. The Plan Commission is recommending approval of the grant. There is an issue of current fiscal year funding. The amount that was budgeted for has already been spoken for. Other grants have been awarded, but it's unlikely that those grants would actually be, those projects would actually be constructed this year. So to the extent that you award the grant tonight, staff will treat that as a first come, first serve, and whoever actually constructs the improvements will get the funding, and then it's likely that the two grants, one of which is the theater project, isn't going to happen anytime soon, and the other one is now scheduled for next year. So if this is approved and is constructed this year, we'll just go ahead and get it funded and then budget money next year for the grants.
Okay, so items
Do you know how many
2
people
through 4.
are waiting?
I believe there's just two.
2.
One is the theater project, and
They're Legion.
and according,
There was another one.
and there's two projects that
If you talk to
that we've already
So
approved.
basically we have 2 facade grants that were due to be complete this year. They're
That are
not
in
going to be
this year's
complete
budget.
By
But
2019, but this work can get done
The other,
and get paid out this year, and then the
Yeah,
rest will
it's-
to the next year.
that's the plan. If they do the work this year, then otherwise it would have, the monies will get rolled into the budget, so we'll have to budget for all 4 next year.
So at this time, I'd like to request a motion and second to receive and place on file the Plan Commission's recommendation, 2019-12, recommending approval and granting of a facade grant to Daniel Crampton at 125 South Park Street in the amount of $15,000, and 2019-13, recommending approval and granting of a facade grant to David Crampton, owner of 127 South Park Street in the amount of $15,000.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Ed and second by Brian. Any discussion? Being none, clerk call the roll, please.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Vidae.
Aye. Okay, item 3, I'd like to request a motion and second to approve and award a facade grant to Daniel Crampton, owner 125 South Park Street, in the amount of $15,000.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Joe and second by Brian. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Vidae.
Aye. Item 4, I'd like to request a motion and second to approve and award a facade grant to Daniel Crampton, owner of 127 South Park Street, in the amount of $15,000.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Joe and second by Brian. Any discussion on this one? Great, clerk call the roll, please.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Vidae.
Aye. Item 5. Dave, you want to discuss this one more?
Well, frankly, I don't know too much about it. The library board is seeking an additional tax levy which is permitted under Illinois law of 0.02%. The purpose of the levy is to fund building maintenance expenses.
This one, I think is an annual that we just approve every year as part of our annual budget. That we go through.
The part that I don't fully understand is why this is being taken. Because we're going to be approving the levy later this calendar year for next year. It's part of our budget, but it's presented, I think, just moving forward to the library board request.
So I'd like to request a motion and second to authorize and approve the levy of an additional tax of 0.02% on real property within the city of Streator pursuant to 75 Illinois statute 5-30-1 for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2020 and ending December 31st, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Joe with the motion and second by Ed. Any discussion? So this one, I know we've done this every year since I've been on the council. It's not an additional tax, it's just part of our
They're just required
legislation
statutorily
every
to do this after year.
So at this time, request the clerk call the roll, please.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch.
Aye.
Scarberry.
Aye.
Edi.
Aye. Okay, we'll move to item 6, which is place on file recommendation to the Parks and Open Spaces Board. Is there any comment on that one?
Yeah, to the extent that monies are unexpended, they don't automatically be budgeted in the fund. This is simply a request to budget additional funds next year. Now, the reality is that to the extent we don't have current revenues next year to fund the higher expense, it's going to cause that account to be in the red in that calendar year. It's just the way it works. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But there's always the potential that we would be budgeting the deficit to the extent that we have insufficient revenues to make them fund the higher expense.
So we'll go into discussion. So I ask for a motion to receive and place on file the Streator Parks and Open Spaces Board's recommendations.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to receive and place on file for consideration 2020 budget.
Okay, so a motion by Ed, can I get a second?
Well, second.
And a second by Joe. Any discussion? So we're not approving it, we're just placing this on file.
You'll have to approve it during the budget.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch.
Aye.
Scarberry.
Aye.
Edi.
Aye. Okay, go on to the consent agenda. I'd like to,
One of the requests, though, isn't budgetary, it involves the plaque. I assume that the council has no objection to it.
I think that was taken care of
What's our
by LOD.
so request a motion and second to approve the consent agenda as presented. The fund board totals are $722,579.27.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Brian and second by Ed. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch.
Aye.
Scarberry.
Aye.
Edi.
Aye. City official comments. You have anything? Mr. Rosen?
Just to show, we had a very nice event in Willow Park. A lot of people from out of town were using the park on Saturday or Sunday for a disc golf tournament. something I've never seen before, but very interesting. And we had a lot of very good comments about the park and its condition, so I can pass that on to our Public Works Department for making the park look very nice, like it always does. And, they were very impressed and they're gonna be back. So that's good.
That's just
Then I'll request a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
so moved. Second.
So Joe with the motion and Brian with the second. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Ladine.